Everybody's all fired up about the big brawl at the New Jersey State Fair in the last day or so. Well, if you look at it, it is just a couple people throwing punches at each other. It looks a lot worse than it is. These things start getting bad for me when cops start getting involved, when cops are attacked, when crowds gather, when other patrons are in danger. Those are the things I've documented here and in Don't Make the Black Kids Angry in state and county fairs by the dozens. I mean, they're so bad in some places they've had to close a lot of these local fairs because the black mob violence is just too wildly out of proportion, too predictable. Anyway, let's check out New Jersey. Then let's check out some things. Maybe the video wasn't as great, but the stuff that happened was about 1,000 times worse.
Oh no, yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, another one? Oh my God. What the fuck is going on? Oh my God. Hey yo. I can't. Where's these niggas from? Damn. Big bitch. My stomach hurts. My stomach hurts so bad right now. It don't make no fucking sense.
Hey, why don't we start in Akron, the now famous hometown of King James of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Well, there's lots of bad business happening in Akron. Lots of black elected officials who ignore, deny, condone, excuse, encourage, and even lie about it. And they I forgot to did I put the word minimize in there? I probably should have. Anyway, I even hesitate to put this in here because this is a let-out fight, except a let-out fight that got way out of control. Big riot in the club, out of the club, lots of threats, blah, blah, blah. How about, now this one was weird. So we let's go out to Boys Town in Chicago. Now, Boys Town is kind of an entertainment district, and these entertainment districts always want to be residential areas too, but for everyone that works, there's like 5 or 10 that don't work because everything's just too loud, too busy, and people don't actually like living in places like that. They think they do, but they don't. Anyway, so this is Boys Town. It's a gay neighborhood. A lot of black people have been going to Boys Town the last couple of years. I've been documenting the black violence against gay people there, including some just a few days ago. And so I wasn't really even going to do this story until I saw that a couple people were involved in some kind of robbery and some violence in Boys Town. So they caught them. They ran the woman's info, and it turns out she was one of 5 people involved in a home invasion robbery in Key West, Iowa. Key West, Iowa. Outside of Dubuque. They killed some white kid.
Still out here this morning on Goldilocks Way and Rosemont Drive. Behind me, you can see they've got the roadway blocked off with crime tape. The home just beyond that vehicle there, where the crime scene investigators are photographing the scene and collecting whatever evidence they can get to try to figure out who shot and killed the 64-year-old man here at this home at around 1:45 this morning. What we've learned from detectives is that a younger man that lives at the home, we believe the son of the victim, was driving home from an area convenience store. Detectives believe he may have been followed by 4 men from the convenience store to the home, and once he got here, those men took him at gunpoint, told him to get on the ground and stay on the ground, at which point they then went into the home and started robbing the house. That's when the 64-year-old homeowner confronted one of the suspects, and he was later shot and killed.
A 64-year-old man approached and confronted one of the suspects. At that point in time, one of the suspects fired shots at him, striking him in the upper torso.
That man was pronounced dead at the scene by paramedics as they arrived here, along with the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department. What we know about the men involved in this is very little. We're told that there were 4 African-American adults, about 20 years old.
I think this scenario started in Broken Arrow with a stolen Lexus SUV, 64th and Garnett. And somewhere around 20, 31st Domingo area. These two that stole the Lexus in an armed robbery with rifle and handgun, then robbed and stole a car at 31st Domingo in the residential area back there. From there, we believe that they went to the area of 8500 East 26th. That's where the gentleman was shot and killed. And our suspects then fled in the Ford Focus, which was stolen in the neighborhood, and the SUV from Broken Arrow. They abandoned those cars along the highway, Skelly and 44 and 21st Street, where they walked into Shoreline, or those apartments right there. Then they carjacked a gentleman in a Nissan Sentra. Soon thereafter, they met up with a female in a Dodge Charger and carjacked her. They parked the Sentra at 2300 South Garnett area in the apartment complex. Officers were obviously looking for the vehicles when they spotted the Charger. Chase ensued, and they captured two individuals at 2400 East.
Before we go on to our last story, let's give the trolls a little gift. And with all this black on white crime, black criminality, there's got to be some white people doing it too.
A lot of white people commit crime as well.
Well, here's the worst one I found.
I was worried for her life. I told her she could be killed. It's no joke.
7 Action News at 10. A mother's worst nightmare. Her daughter grabbed by a complete stranger and thrown into the Clinton River. Now the mother is speaking only to Action News.
I was worried for her life. I told her she could be killed. It's no joke. She can't swim.
That little girl is recovering tonight. Her attacker facing assault charges. 7 Action News reporter Aaron Baskerville talked to her family about this stranger's attack, and he's live tonight in Mount Clemens with the very latest. Aaron?
Glenda and Carolyn, it's been an awfully rough day for 10-year-old Star Delaney. She was actually tossed into the river behind me last night. She cannot swim. She was trapped underneath the dock for a while, and tonight she's sharing her story.
She just wanted to fish with her friends. That's all she wanted to do.
Emotionally traumatized is how her mother is describing 10-year-old Star Delaney. The girl was fishing along the boardwalk with friends on the Clinton River Wednesday night in Mount Clemens.
He just came up behind me and picked me up by my waist and threw me in there.
Were you scared when that was going on? Investigators say this man, a complete stranger, 48-year-old Michael Smoger, attacked her for no reason. What went through your mind that this grown man is touching your 10-year-old daughter and throwing her in the water?
I was worried for her life. I told her she could be killed. It's no joke. She can't swim.
Smoger, who was allegedly really drunk, threw her in the water, forcing the girl's 14-year-old friend to jump to her rescue. We're told Star was trapped under the dock for a while, hitting her head as well.
There's an undercurrent had me. There's an undercurrent in that water.
Yeah, the undercurrent. The water.
And what did it feel? Do you remember being in the water? What happened caught the attention of others around, like Marcus Baldwin.
They were just being kids,
Telling 7 Action News his father instincts kicked in, even though he went overboard regarding his behavior.
I went down there and when I seen him, man, I just slapped him. I slapped him unconscious. I slapped him so hard. Then honestly, I stepped on his head 3 times.
There are still generations of people, older people, who were born and bred and marinated in it, in that prejudice and racism, and they just have to die.
Let's finish up with this one, not just for the violence, but for the weird way it kind of ended. So, down in Fort Worth, Texas, some people kind of found a dance studio. I think somebody who worked there had a big party with a DJ, hip-hop DJ. Hundreds and hundreds of black people were at the party. The owner of the studio didn't even know there was a party going on. Two people were killed. A bunch of people were hurt, shot. Large-scale episode of black mob violence. Not that much different than the hundreds and hundreds of other episodes of large-scale black mob violence that we see at hip-hop parties, back-to-school parties, black college parties, black nightclub parties, black sporting event parties. You kind of get the picture. But here's where it gets weird, at least for me. The place was held. The party was held at a place called Studio 74, and the newspaper says this facility, quote, this facility brings, quote, dance programming to underserved communities to reach audiences and participants of all ages, abilities, ethnicities, and socioeconomic backgrounds. Okay, listen, I know what that just said, but what it means is this is a studio for poor, where somehow poor black people get free dance lessons because they are underserved. You know, is there another word in the English language that packs so much meaning, so much misunderstanding into one word? I mean, the idea that there are places out there that are entitled to a certain amount of service, being served, and when they don't get it, people like the owner of this studio have to come in because they are underserved. And let me ask this question. Does anybody who watches BET, Black Entertainment Television, or watch YouTube, or they watch all the different black shows on television, does anybody think black people are not taught enough dancing? Does somebody really think there are a shortage of dancing opportunities for black people? Really? Really? And so not only do we have a shooting, an episode of Black Mob Violence that is just, one of many, many all over the country, but we kind of have another example of how these social justice warriors just are trying to inject race into all these different crazy places. Then they get surprised, and they inject this. And when you inject race into it, necessarily part of the same story is the story that black people are relentless victims of relentless white racism all the time, everywhere. That explains everything. When you inject that into it, the next thing is violence. I mean, necessarily, because if you convince somebody they're a victim, that's what happens next. Right after the part where the dance instructors go around explaining to everybody, don't make the black kids angry.